Okay guys, back again for another video. We did a short video a while back just kind of asking everyone what kind of topics you would want to hear us talk about, what kind of videos you'd want to see, and we got some really great comments. I got a big list and we really appreciate that. Today's video I think is really important. It's kind of on ethical shooting. So if you see that fish, that dream fish that comes by, you know, what's the best shot to get that fish and bring it home? There's definitely places to shoot a fish and places to not shoot a fish. One thing that you really want to start getting in the habit of right away from the very first shot is being laser focused on your target and where to shoot that fish. The worst thing you can do is get really excited, go down, take your shot, injure that fish, and the thing runs off into a hole and dies, or you know, eel gets it or something like that. Yeah, basically, if you injure that fish, it gets away. You know, you've injured a life. Yeah, it's something else is going to eat it, but you know, that's not our purpose out there, to hurt everything and kill everything and let it go. We want to. We're blessed enough to be out there and targeting things that we want to bring home for sustenance or for our family to eat and enjoy, right? And it's a cycle. So one of the things that you'll learn as time goes on in your spearfishing journey is how fish act. Every kind of species is a little bit different. You'll have the schools that are grazing, and they're kind of doing their cruising. Some fish will travel in schools only. Some fish will go up the water column, down the water column. Some fish will just be single loners, you know, kind of roaming around. Some fish like to be the boss, as I call them, and they'll kind of rush in at you and kind of warn all the other fish and then rush out. And you know, these kind of fish habits will you know, you'll figure them out as you go. But it's important to kind of start taking notes from the very get-go on each of these species and how they act and how they perform in the water. Now they're not always going to do that. Like we're not all predictable beings, right? But they have habits and they have their mannerisms, just like everybody. Human that you know is the same way. So you get used. That's the first step. You get used to the fish, how they act, and then you can kind of adjust your plan of attack to go after one of them. Okay, so you're there. You've got the fish in your sights. It's close enough. You think you can have the shot, and you want to make the shot, right? The worst thing you can do, as I mentioned before, is to take a terrible shot. In the beginning, you're going to take lots of terrible shots. So don't worry about it. Just get it in your head that I told you. Chris said, don't take a terrible shot. So you want to try to hit the fish in certain spots on its body to have the chance to get the fish. The probability will be higher that you get that fish and you'll be able to bring them to you and take them. So I'm going to show you. I have a little diagram, a little fishy diagram here. So as I mentioned before, there are definitely places that are targets when you see a fish. Obviously, if you have a fish this size, it's a bigger target than if you have a smaller fish. But generally, their anatomy is for the most part, in the fish world, it's kind of similar, right? You have a head, a tail, top, and a bottom. There's generally a tail at the back, a fin at the top, and a fin at the bottom and on the sides. In Hawaii, this is a diagram of a jackfish, of a papio, let's say. It's one of the better eating jacks in the world, I think. If I see these, I'll pretty much target it every time because I know it's a good sashimi fish. Obviously, it's a bigger target. The two purple dots are basically kill shots, if you can get them. Now, it's not, you're underwater, there's a lot of energy, the fish is not gonna just sit there and let you target its kill shots, right? So you're gonna have to lead a fish, you have to go down and play the game. That's all part of your journey. But at least I wanted to show you a couple absolute instant lights out kind of places that you can target. Doesn't, if you don't get it, it's okay, but these areas are definitely where you want to start your laser focus when you see your target, okay? Head, tail, top fin, bottom fin. This is the side fin. This line right here is its gills, and this is the mouth. This pink shot right here is the brain. Shoot him in the brain, he's dead, and you can get him. You've probably seen a lot of videos out there where guys pretty much get lucky. I mean, the good guys are targeting that spot. It's probably a fish that's not moving very fast, but hit that spot. It's a nerve center as well. If you get that spot right on and break a bunch of nerves, and it's lights out. You don't have to worry about the fish going ape shit on you. You can just go out, grab it, bring it in, secure it, and you're on your way. So always think about targeting the brain if you can. The brain is typically right behind the eye and above the gill. It's kind of the X spot, if you will. Again, smaller fish, smaller target, but so that's one kill shot you want to think about. Every fish has a spine. This is the spine. It goes all the way down to the tail. I've shot fish in the tail and broke its spine, and it incapacitates the entire fish. You can try to shoot this fish along its spine anywhere. I typically like to shoot the thing above its pectoral fin, it's the fin that's on its side, and break that spine. And yeah, break anything's spine, it's not gonna be able to go very far or very fast. So you'll if you see some videos out there and you see the fish has been shot not in the head but kind of in the mid body, and the thing is just like kind of wiggling and you know, just kind of fluttering, that means its spine has been broken. So to me, these two spots are the absolute best kill shots that you can try to master as you go. Again, start out, if you're a beginner, try to start out targeting these two spots. Other good spots, I guess, would be kind of the meatier spot, you know, on its back. If you want to get if you think you can get your spear deep enough through it where the flopper is going to open up or whatever, then go for the meatier part of its upper back. But always remember these two spots, I think, are the best. There's some spots where I definitely don't think you should be shooting, and that's these guys. So I've reversed the fish. Basically, here's the head, tail's over there, top of the fish here, bottom of the fish here. This is his eyeball. I've seen a lot of videos where people are actually targeting the fish's eyeball, and it pisses me off. It's not a good shot. It's really, I think it's terrible. It is a headshot. There's a lot of bone in the head, and you know, I understand people want to get the fish and they want to shoot the harder spot. To me, if you're just pissing the fish off, you're sending, I don't know, you're sending more stress through the body as it's dying or as it's, you know, injured. And if you don't get the fish, if you've ripped its eyeball out and it goes away, then you have one-eyed fish, and it's probably gonna die soon anyway. Don't shoot the eye. Again, that kill shot, remember, is right behind the eye. So, you know, we're not gonna fault you if you do hit the eye, but just don't target it. Other worst shot is below this pec fin on the side. This is where all the guts are. Just think about if you got shot in the guts, how that would suck. Don't shoot it in the guts. If you can avoid it, avoid it. A lot of times I shot a fish in the guts, all its guts are ripping out, blood and, you know, doo-doo and everything's, you know, coming out. And if I'm lucky to get the fish, everything's kind of hanging out. I'm sure it stressed the hell out of the fish and the meat. Not to mention maybe it's attracting some sharks, and, you know, if they come around, then they get the fish and you don't. So no gut shots, no eye shots. I think another really crappy shot is right in the gill. The gill plate, as you know, or you may know, is pretty hard. There's some sensitive organs there. It's where they kind of filter the water. I've shot fish where they, you know, in the gills, and it's basically taken them double the amount of time to get that fish in because it's not a very secure shot. The gills are flexible, so it's just wiggling a lot more than it probably should. Again, go for those kill shots that we talked about. Brain, spine, try to put it out of its misery right away. Again, smaller fish are going to be harder. With those guys, if say you have a fish that's 10 times smaller than this, just try to go for its head or the upper body part. The real secure spots. But if you have a little bit bigger fish, this is a good start. Kind of always try to think about these spots and these no-go spots. Okay. One thing you definitely want to, as a beginner, try to avoid is not rushing your shot, not taking the shot that you don't think is secure. If you hesitate, forget it, and move on to the next one. In my experiences, when you've hesitated, anytime you're hunting, you fuck up. So you don't want an injured animal, you don't want an injured fish going out into the wild. I mean, it just makes you feel shitty. The whole goal is to get that thing, bring it home so everybody can enjoy it and get some sustenance from it. Never take an unhinged shot. Never take an unsecured. Just never take a bad shot. If you happen to shoot a fish that wasn't in the best spot and it's running away from you, you can see that it's injured. You still have it, or maybe the injured fish just run off. Obviously they're not going to be as fast as they were if they're uninjured. Always try to go after that fish. Keep your eye laser focused on that guy. Try to get them. A lot of times in Hawaii, the injured fish will run into holes, basically where eels going to eat them. So if it runs into a hole or under a ledge, I'm going to try to mark that spot. If I need to go up, get a breath, try to always keep my eye on where that fish went and go down and try to get it before the eel gets it or before a shark comes and gets it. You've injured it. It's your responsibility at that point to go get that thing. Do your best always to try to bring an injured animal home that you've injured and bring home. And lastly, you always want to, if you've shot a fish and it's a pretty good shot, you want to try to do your best to get that injured animal to your body and dispatch it with your knife, kill it as fast as possible. Some of the shots will lend you to, that's a great shot, thing's not going to get off. Just rip it in, put it out of its misery if it needs it, and then you got it. Sometimes, most of the time actually, your shot's not where you want it. It might be, you could see the flopper of the shaft is just barely hanging on inside the fish, so you're kind of having to fish that fish in, basically, kind of play it in. And then, you have to do that, but you always want to try to secure that thing as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna have an injured fish. The slower you get trying to get the fish in, the more an eel could come out or more a shark could show up. You're gonna cause more commotion. Sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it's not, and you really just wanna get that thing in so it doesn't run off and die. All right, hope that helps you guys. Again, give us a like if you liked it. Leave some comments for us. Any other topics you want us to talk about or expand on what we kind of talked about here, let us know. And we will see you next time. Thanks again.